Hey y'all, at long last, this is my review for the Real Housewives of Dubai episodes 8 and 9. I'm sorry it took so long. I skipped 1 week and I was like, ugh, I guess I'll combine it. And then, on Wednesday nights, it comes on with Beverly Hills. And Beverly Hills, no shade, it just has top priority because it's like must-see TV and most people watch Beverly Hills more, and it just is what it is. It's not a shade, it's a fact. But yeah, I'm still loving Dubai. Most of the ladies I want to come back to the show for a season 2. Hopefully they get a season 2. They could stand to do a couple of tweaks to this franchise. Maybe add a friend of, which possibly can be Phaedra. Maybe take somebody off the cast. Maybe Caroline Stansberry. It's just, she's not giving what needs to be given. And maybe she needs to just do like a full 180 or something, but she's just not coming off entertaining, and she's pretentious and too boring to be a villain. I don't know. Maybe she could turn it around. I feel like Bravo really likes her, so I'm pretty sure they'll give her another chance. Anywho, let's get into episode 8. Child, this feels like forever ago because we left off on a cliffhanger between an argument between Sarah and Brooks. Brooks is like, "What the F is this?" But yeah, she's still in a drunken rage. Her eyes are just glazed as she's yelling at Sarah. I feel like Sarah already apologized to Brooks, so what more does she want from her? From the outside looking in, it just looks like a big miscommunication. So then they're interrupted by Ayan and Lisa coming over, and it looks like they came to smooth over things, but Brooks is still heated. The argument between the two still isn't going anywhere, and it looks like Stansberry's dinner's about to start, so the ladies all get up. Brooks says she's going home, and it looks like she's too drunk to even finish the evening anyway. We cut to Ayan's confessional, and she says, when you go to black people's homes, you sit down, eat, and leave us the hell alone. You don't judge our parenting skills. And she has a point. It's a cultural thing, to judge how a black woman is raising her child. And then not only culturally, I feel like it was a trigger for Brooks too. So then we get back to boring Caroline's celebration. At least the party doesn't look boring. We see Brooks leaving with her gay entourage while the other ladies are seated for dinner. I'm really curious as to how Brooks and Sarah overcame this, because they're besties now. If you go on social media, the cast is divided. Lisa and Ayan on one end and then the rest of the ladies on the other. As the party is going on, we see boring Caroline complaining to people about what Ayan is wearing, that she's wearing a wedding dress and that she looks like May. Now, let's talk about the last episode, because a lot of y'all had to say in the comments that Ayan wasn't wearing a wedding dress. And I never said she was wearing a wedding dress. I was just saying she came looking better than the host. And I agree with y'all. Don't call for a white party if you don't want any of your guests looking bridal, because wearing white, it can look bridal sometimes. I also think Ayan didn't do it on purpose. She dressed that way to intentionally upstage Caroline. It's just that's how she always presents herself, as over the top. Maybe on the other hand, it was naive for Caroline to think Ayan would tone her aesthetic down to appease her. Anyway, Caroline actually confronts Ayan about her outfit, and we see Ayan, she's trying to keep it cute because it's still Caroline's event. I think her main issue was Ayan stands out and looks better than the host. Caroline even brings one of her minions over to agree with her, saying that it looks like she's about to get married. We cut to Lisa's confessional, and of course she's in Ayan's corner. I just found it interesting when Lisa said that when you invite Ayan to your event, it's your fault if you dress basic because you know she's gonna come over the top. She says, when I have my event, I make sure I'm dressed to the nines because I know Ayan coming with it. She makes a point. Whew, that party scene felt long. It's finally over, and next scene we're with Nina and her husband. They're overlooking their main home that's currently being renovated. Ooh, and Nina is not happy. She's mad at her husband for making unnecessary changes. It's going to take longer for the house to get renovated and finished. She wants this to be over and done with so she can move in. Their property they're renovating is supposed to be a 3-floor penthouse that's 18,000 square feet. Look, hey Nina girl, if I'm in Dubai, call me. We can have a drink and some french fries and kiki. Next scene is the day of Caroline and her boy Toy's wedding. It's in 6 hours and they're just chatting it up while they're getting ready. I'm guessing since she already had the wedding before, like the bride seeing the groom before they're married isn't a big deal to her. She's talking about the invite list, and most of the cast isn't coming either due to the drama or they're just busy. Brooks, Ayan, and Lisa all aren't coming, as well as a few other guests, she says. I wonder why the other guests had to cancel. I mean, especially if they showed up to her wedding party. Meanwhile, we see Ayan getting ready to walk at this fashion show, and she looks absolutely stunning. But what else is new? We're back at the wedding, and it's cute. I mean, if you love Ladies of London, I'm sure you saw some cameos. I don't know any of these people. It looks like Nina and Sarah are the only ones on the cast that made it to her wedding. Honestly, this episode so far, it just feels like filler. But I'm like, there's a wedding going on. Usually the wedding episodes aren't filler. Side note, Sergio is hot, but something about him just screams asshole. Okay, so meanwhile, back at the more interesting event, the fashion show that Ayan is walking in, we see the rest of the cast is there, i.e. the black girls. So Brooks didn't go because she knew that Ayan and Lisa weren't going, and the only other women that were going was Sarah and Nina, who she bit both of their heads off at the wedding dinner. As for Lisa, she says in any given situation where Ayan and Caroline having an event, she's going to choose Ayan. That's real. So far during the season, it does look like there's a cast divide. Like you have the black girls on one end, and then you have Nina, Sarah, and Caroline. And as we know, Brooks migrated to the other women. And I'm not sure if they're trying to ice out Lisa and Ayan, but that's not going to happen. They're not. Like, they're fan favorites, so they better figure out how to, like, all get along, at least for season 2. I swear Ayana's had so many funny moments on this show. So we see her talking to Brooks and Lisa, and they're talking about going for the jugular, and she confuses jaguar for jugular. It don't even make sense correcting her. And it's not because Ayan is dumb, it's just she's not familiar with American figure of speech. Brooks is saying how bad she feels about going off on Nina, which she should because Nina didn't deserve that. And Ayan is saying that Sergio was mad at her because of her outfit. And I'm thinking he was mad because he didn't get to wear her outfit himself. Ugh, this wedding is still going on. Fast forward, back at the fashion show, we see Ayan as well as her son killing it on the runway. Too cute. So then production is just going back and forth between the two events. We see the wedding reception, and that's finally over. I mean, congrats to Caroline and her boy toy. I give it 3 years tops before she divorces him. Next scene is the day after, and Caroline's holding a small brunch with some of her friends, as well as Lisa and Ayan. I'm super shocked that Lisa and Ayan showed up to this, but I'm thinking production maybe forced them to go. Of course, Ayan once again shows up like she's ready to go to a gala. She has this beautiful fuchsia gown with this eccentric like bow in the back. Like, everybody just shaking their head at her. After some awkward conversation about Ayan upstaging Caroline, the topic is now Caroline possibly getting pregnant again. Her friend reminds her how dangerous her last pregnancy was and how risky this one can be. And then they're talking about surrogacy, and I had no idea that it's illegal in Dubai. Child, I am staying my happy ass right in the States. Apparently there's some archaic laws saying that you can't give birth unless you're married. Anywho, the brunch continues without any drama, and next scene we're with Brooks talking to her mom. Of course she's discussing her argument with Sarah, and now she's thinking that maybe she overreacted. You think? Side note, why are they playing this weird island music while her mom is talking? Brooks is now defending her parenting style to her mom, and then we get a little background with her experience being a single mother, and clearly what Sarah told her was a trigger. She also mentions she suffered abuse in some way in her previous marriage, but she doesn't give any details. Her wig is just so distracting in this scene. Is it just me? Anywho, that is where the episode ends. Decent episode, but it was kind of filler to me. But let's get into episode 9, shall we? So, this episode opens like the Newlywed Game with Caroline and her boy toy. I guess that's cute. Anyway, the actual episode opens with Sarah and Ayan meeting for dinner. Now, Ayan, look, I just... I'm speechless at what she's wearing. Like, it looks like she's about to go to the Oscars. She's wearing all white and this huge train. Like, really, girl? It's starting not to make sense. Now, if she would have came to Caroline's event dressed in that, she would have been put out. She would have been escorted out. Like her last outfit, like the bodysuit and the white cape. Now, this is a train. I'm like, now why would she waste an outfit having dinner with Sarah in this? All Sarah could do was laugh. The topic of their conversation is Sarah's argument with Brooks. Sarah says she hasn't seen Brooks since Caroline's wedding party. Ayan just compared Brooks to Judas, reminding us that they're actually frenemies and not real friends. I definitely could not see myself being friends with someone I would compare to Judas. Ayan then tells Sarah honestly and respectfully that she can come off a little preachy and judgmental sometimes, but she knows that she has depth and she wants to get to know Sarah more. So she asks her to just tell her some more about herself. She wants to get to know her. Sarah then opens up to Ayan saying that from a young age, she just always prided herself on being self-sufficient. She talks about her marriage and some of the mistakes she's made in her life. We cut to her confessional and she says she doesn't think that she's preachy. She even says when you've healed and done the work, sometimes your light bothers the people that are still in the dark. Shit, that is quite the phrase. Like, bitch, I'm healed. I can't help that my light bothers you because your ass is in the darkness. Next scene, we're with Brooks meeting up with her ex-husband for lunch. Wow, they look like complete opposites. Now, I know Lisa and Ayan, they did outside their race, but I could see the chemistry with their men immediately. But with Brooks, I don't see that. It's actually giving a Marlo Hampton tea, if y'all know what I mean. We get some background on their relationship, and I still can't believe they were married for 7 years. She says she got married at 21, and she met her husband while she was an intern. Now, I'm not sure if she was his intern. She doesn't clarify that. She says in her confessional that her husband had a lot of anger issues when they were married. I mean, even seeing him here, he looks like he doesn't even want to be at this lunch. We find out that her ex-husband is actually financing her new salon that's being built, as well as her ex-boyfriend. I find this all so fascinating. I feel like there's more to the story, we just not getting it. The next topic between them is them reminiscing about when they were together. She brings up his anger issues, and he tells her that was a period in his life where he was unhappy. Well, that period of his life was when he was married to her, so was he just not happy with her? Anywho, he apologizes, although this scene just feels very forced. Next scene, we see Lisa sending out invites to all the ladies for her upcoming event, which has a dance hall theme. We then cut to Caroline talking to her daughter about the invite, and it looked like she's mocking it, just calling it some dance party I'm being invited to. I'm not sure if I want to go or not. That is my snooty British accent that I am currently working on. Next scene, we're with Sarah and Nina, and it looks like they're going shopping in one of the outside markets you see in Dubai. I forgot what you call that area. Let me know in the comments. I forgot the name. But I love them together, and I don't mind if they both come back next season. It also looks like they invited Ayan with them, and she comes in a fucking ball gown. A lavender ball gown with a little white hat. Girl, to the market, outside. And plus it looked hot. Now she looks good, of course, but it's just starting not to make sense because it's not practical. Why would you wear a dress like that with a long ass train where it's just sliding through the dirt, you're getting it dirty, and then you're in an enclosed space with a bunch of people in the market? It just don't make sense. You can look like a bad bitch, but you wearing a ball gown and everything? It's just starting to get a little gimmicky, that's all. Later on, Ayan lets the ladies know she's going to take them to get Ethiopian food. She also lets them know she invited Brooks to this with the hopes of them settling their differences. Next scene, we're with Caroline and Sergio. They are really trying to just shove them down our throats. Just trying to make fetch happen. They're discussing what they should wear to Lisa's dance hall party coming up. Meanwhile, we're with Brooks in her car. She's on her way to meet up with Ayan, Sarah, and Nina. Not her saying they got her coming to the hood. Oh, this is ghetto. Well, okay then. So the Ethiopian spot they're all meeting up at is hella casual. Like it's like mom and pop. So Ayan looks even more ridiculous in this ball gown coming in. Plus it's a small space too. It looks like it's like the size of my studio, probably smaller. I mean, with places like this, even though it's not glamorous, you know the food's gonna be good. I never had Ethiopian food. I'm a pretty picky eater, so I don't know. Like, it doesn't look too appetizing, but I'm sure I can find something on the menu that I would eat. So Brooks then arrives. She sees Ayan and just says, "Bitch, really? Are you going to a quinceañera?" I will say this is one of my least favorite looks from Ayan. Uh-oh, so we see Nina ordering food from the waitress. I hope she knows there's no french fries at this restaurant. Now, why Ayan took them there? It looked like they're not about to order anything off the menu. So as they're all seated, Brooke starts the convo and tells Sarah that she just didn't appreciate the comment that was told to her. So far, I agree with Brooks in this moment. Sarah did tell her that she should tuck her child in, even though Sarah said she didn't say that. But yeah, it's going left immediately because Sarah's getting defensive and then Brooks is getting increasingly abrasive. Sarah needs to own up to the fact that even though she used the word closer, it implied that she needs to be more affectionate with her child. And that is why Brooks is frustrated. Now, it totally goes left when Sarah tells Brooks that she has selective amnesia. At this point, Nina tries to step in to moderate, but the conversation has already gone off the rails. And now Brooks is throwing Ayan under the bus, telling Sarah that she said that she was preachy and judgmental too. Brooks is telling Sarah how she comes off to everybody. Sarah then says you need to chill out with that BS, followed by Brooks telling her to shut the fuck up. Sarah has had it with her and then gets up to leave, then tells Brooks, "Tell me to shut up one more time." Brooks is like, "Or what? Or what?" She didn't say that, but she stands up and says, "Or what you gonna do? What you gonna do?" This is the second time that Brooks has implied to Sarah that she wants to fight. Child, Brooks be ready to go to jail in Dubai, huh? Because I know they don't play that. Poor Ayan, she doesn't know what to do. And the insults are just flying. On one side, Brooks is calling her a fake doctor. Sarah's telling her to go buy some class. Sarah walks out and Nina goes running after her while Ayan is trying to calm down Brooks. Sarah then hightails it, and then back in this small-ass restaurant, they still haven't gotten the food yet, and everybody's yelling. I agree with Ayan when she says Brooks just came to fight. She didn't come to forgive. So now Nina storms out because she had enough. The food finally arrives, and that poor waitress, she looks so nice too, don't know what's going on. And then Brooke says she's out too, even though Ayan was like, "I have all this food." So now it's just Ayan by herself, eating with all this food in front of her, in a ball gown, talking to herself. Iconic. I think this scene was my favorite of the season so far. It was just so damn chaotic. It really didn't have to go left. Sarah could have been less defensive, and Brooks could have came in with the intention of forgiving Sarah. Next scene was with Lisa, and it looks like she organized a dance class for all the ladies for her dance hall event coming up. Nina's the first to arrive, and she's filling in Lisa on what happened the other day with all the other ladies. It's funny because we cut to Lisa's confessional, and she says she doesn't really give a shit about that drama. She just came here to dance. That's it. So then the other ladies arrived, and I'm surprised everybody came. I really do need to just do a looks review for every scene Ayan comes in. Instead of workout clothes ready to dance in, she comes in with like a neon highlighter wig, some shorts with like a retractable gown around it. Again, why? It's just not practical. So as the dance class starts, Lisa knowingly puts the ladies in two groups of three. The first group is herself, Caroline, and Nina, while the second one is Brooks, Ayan, and Sarah. This is Lisa's method for everybody to try to get along with each other. The dancing that Nina and Caroline is doing is cringe, and Ayan, it looks like she's crumping. Later on, it looks like Sarah and Brooks are actually getting along. It's as if nothing happened. So then the class finishes without any drama happening, and then Sarah and Brooks decide to stay behind to have a one-on-one. Brooks is now magically in a place to forgive and resolve, and then she tells Sarah that she just wants to forget about it and move forward. The most commonly used phrase in Housewives history. Next scene is the evening of Lisa's dance hall party, and it must be boring because there's only 6 minutes left, so I'm assuming nothing dramatic happened. So all the ladies arrive, and by the looks of what they're all wearing, it looks like only Brooks understood the assignment, as well as Sarah, even though she's giving a little 70s vibe with the afro. Now, I read up on social media, a lot of people had a problem with her afro and was trying to say she was appropriating, but I think she said in her culture, people have afros as well. And she looked nice. I didn't really have a problem with it. Now, if it was Stansberry wearing an afro, then yeah, I would have a problem with it. And then we see Lisa's father-in-law with these fake dreads, like, the little fake Jamaican hat with the dreads underneath. I can't defend that. But back to the ladies' fashions. Lisa is dressed exactly like Nicki Minaj. Ayan is dressed up like a backup dancer for Big Bird. Caroline is dressed for a Halloween party. And Nina is dressed like Lindsay Lohan in Mean Girls. So the party looks cute. Everybody's having a good time. All the husbands are there. Lisa's husband, I totally see it. Like, he's hot, but it's like a certain swag that he has. Yes, I use the word swag. I don't know, like, it's just something sexy about him, I gotta admit. So now the ladies are dancing in their separate groups like they were in dance class. Ayan's dancing is atrocious. And not the husbands, who are basically a group of white men saying that the black girl can't dance. It's just the optics for me. We see the other group of ladies dancing, and I'm sorry to say this, but it looks like Caroline is dancing better than Ayan. Anywho, again, no drama. Everybody's getting along, even though this is the perfect event, to have a fight at. We then see Lisa giving out some gag awards to the ladies, everybody laughing, and that is where episode 9 ends. I think this is one of my favorite episodes of the season. They already filmed the reunion, which I'm sure is 2 parts. I'm gonna say they have 2 more episodes and then like a 2-part reunion. That's what I'm gonna say. But yeah, let me know what y'all think about the season so far. Are y'all still watching? I personally like Dubai, and I'm definitely going to support a season 2 if they have it. But yeah, make sure y'all like, comment, and subscribe, and I will see y'all for the next episode. Bye.